Everyone. So today we are going to discuss about virtual machines. So we will be going through what is a virtual machine and how we can install a particular virtual machine on our computer. For example, right now I have a Windows 10. So how we can install a other operating system here without installing it as a main OS. When I say main OS, that means whenever I am going to restart my computer, I'm not going to see that operating system there. I will have to start that operating system once I get into my Windows 10, and then I would be able to start that virtual machine and access that particular operating system which we are going to install on our virtual machine. So before we get into the installation part of a particular virtual machine, we will be going through some basics like why do we use virtual machine or what is a particular virtual machine. Okay, I will be just giving a brief introduction about it. So I have this particular website right now, that is softwarehow.com, and they have a pretty good explanation about virtual machines. Okay, so for example, as you can see right now I'm running Windows 10. Okay, so we will call that as the host machine. Okay, now if I want to run other operating systems on this Windows 10 itself within a particular software, or uh, we normally call it hypervisor as well. Okay, so if we want to run other operating systems without restarting our system, so what we can do, we can install a hypervisor and we can run virtual machines on that. Okay, so what we can do with that, we can have, as you can see, we have three VMs or virtual machines here. One is running Windows 7 Professional, having 16 GB of RAM and 300 GB of hard disk. Similarly, Apple's Mac OS with 8 GB of RAM, 500 GB of hard disk. And one another is Ubuntu Linux, okay? So with 4 GB of RAM and 250 GB of hard disk, okay? So if we create virtual machines with these configurations, we would be able to run these operating systems in a particular hypervisor, or a software also we can call, and we would be able to access these operating systems without restarting our systems. Now, one thing that we have to keep in mind, that whatever resources or whatever RAM or hard disk we are providing here, we should be having that uh, amount of RAM or hard disk on our computer or laptop, you can say. For example, if we have a computer with 16 GB of RAM, okay, that means we can have a virtual machine only up to uh, 14 GB of RAM. Okay, why? Because we are supposed to left 2 GB of RAM for our main OS or our Windows 10 also. Okay, we won't be able to run a virtual machine with the 18 GB of RAM or 20 GB of RAM, because that much amount of RAM we don't have on our computer or laptop. Okay, so that thing you have to just keep in mind. So whenever we are going to install a virtual machine, we are supposed to define these properties as well, like how much RAM it's going to consume and how much hard disk it's going to use. Okay, so we'll be discussing that further as well. Now, if you look at this particular scenario, okay, so here there are some concepts. So it's showing that this is the host machine, right? So this whole Windows 10 that I'm running, that is the host machine. Okay, then we will be having a hypervisor software also, you can call, which we will be using VirtualBox. So that's a software actually. We also normally these kind of softwares are known as hypervisors. Okay, and on that VirtualBox we will be running a virtual machine. Right now in the screenshot you can see it's Windows 7, but we will be installing a Kali OS, which is a Linux operating system. Okay, so how we can install and how we can download the virtual machine and install it, we will be going through that now. So I already have these things recorded here right now. So I will be starting with the part one, where I have shown how you can download a VirtualBox from Google. So we are supposed to just search for VirtualBox, and from the download VirtualBox link, we can download it for our Windows. So we are supposed to click on Windows host, and as you can see, as soon as we click on it, we can see at the bottom of the left side, it is being downloaded. Okay, now it's going to take some time, so I'm going to skip this part. Okay, and once it is downloaded, we are going to move to the downloads part. So here you can see we are moving to our downloads folder, and we will be trying to run this installer. Okay, so the installing VirtualBox is pretty simple. We are just supposed to click on next, next, and it would install with default configurations. So we are supposed to keep these all checkbox ticked. And now when we click on install, it will start the installation. Right now on the blank screen, it would be asking you for some permission. So just give that permission as well. Now again, we are going to click on install and it will continue the installation. As soon as the installation is complete, we can click on finish and it will start our VirtualBox and we will see a screen something like this. Now what we are going to do, we are going to download the VirtualBox image for Kali operating system. So we are supposed to search Kali virtual machine image and we will go to the official website of Kali. And from here, we can download the virtual machine that is already built for Kali operating system and we will directly import it within our VirtualBox. So from here, we are supposed to click on the download button for VirtualBox. And as soon as we click on it, we will be downloading a 3.7 GB of file, which will be containing our Kali operating system. Now, I'm just going to, as it's going to take a lot of time to complete, I will be moving on to part 2, where what we have done, once the download of that operating system is done, we will be moved to our downloads, and here we will extract this zip file. We will be extracting it, and as soon as we are done with the extraction, we will be seeing 3 files here. Okay, and we are supposed to run this orange file with the extension of open virtualization. Just a moment, open virtualization format. This file we are supposed to open, and as soon as we open it, it will ask us with what software we want to open it. So we'll be saying VirtualBox Manager, and we are supposed to click on OK. Now you can see it like this. Here you can see when we are importing it, there is some default configuration like where what is the name of this virtual machine. We can change these as well, but we are going to just stick with the default configuration. And if we scroll down a little bit here, as you can see, we have RAM. Okay, so we are assigning 2 GB of RAM to this particular operating system. We can assign 4 GB as well if we have enough RAM on our main computer, but we are sticking to 2 GB because it's sufficient for Kali operating system at least. So now we'll be just clicking on the import button and it will import Kali operating system with the default configuration. So now we click on import and we are supposed to agree to this terms and conditions. And once we do that, it will start importing that particular image. Now it's going to take a bit of time. So we'll be directly skipping to the third part where we have done the import of Kali OS directly. So once we are done with the import, we will see something like this, okay, here. And we are supposed to, if we want to run Kali operating system within this VirtualBox now, we are supposed to select that particular virtual machine and click on the start button. As soon as we click on the start button, we will move into our virtual machine. It will take a bit of time in starting as we normally start a particular OS. It takes some time to load initial binaries and everything. So it will take some time. Now this is important. Right now it is showing us that the host key is write control. Okay. Why we are going to use the write control host key? Just to move into the full screen mode of the virtual machine and come out of it, like moving into the full screen mode and moving out of that full screen mode to get into Windows mode. Okay, for that we will be using it actually. So I will show you how we can do that as well. Now it's going to take some time to import, and the default credentials, once it loads, the default credentials for Kali operating system is Kali and Kali itself. So the username is Kali, password is also Kali, and then we can press login. And as soon as we press login, we would be logged into the Kali operating system. Now, when we maximize it, it will automatically set the resolution, and like we will see something like this. Now, here, if we click, we can see the task manager similar to our Windows task manager as well. And we will be clicking on view and full screen mode to go into the full screen mode so that we get a feel that it is running as a main operating system, not as a virtual machine. So when we do that, it will again ask tell us that if we want to come out of full screen mode, we are supposed to press host plus F, and host actually is right control. So right control plus F, if we press it, we will be coming out of the full screen mode. Now we will just click on switch and we will be moved into full screen mode like this. Now what we are going to do, we are just going to check if our internet is working in this virtual machine or not. We'll directly click on the Firefox icon right here and it will open Firefox, and we'll be going to google.com just to verify whether our internet is working or not. So as soon as we access google.com, if it loads, that means our internet is working fine. So yeah, as you can see, google.com loaded successfully. So whenever you follow this procedure, importing directly a particular Kali OS image, you are not supposed to do any configuration in the network to make the internet work in your virtual machine. Okay, so that way it would be easier to do all of this configuration. Now, what we have done here is we have, if you want to come out of the full screen mode, you can press right control plus F. Also, if you move to the bottom of the screen, here also you have a minimize or maximize button, that also you can press to come out of a virtual machine and move into our main operating system. So whenever we do that, we would be coming out of our virtual machine and you will see a window like this. So in that case, if again you want to move into your virtual machine, what you are supposed to do, you are just supposed to open the window that is for our Kali OS, which would be something like this icon at uh, on your taskbar. So that's all for today. I hope you learned something new today. Thank you. Bye bye.